You feel it every weekend? Group chats light up, trips get booked, new gadgets show up, and quietly, pressure builds. Here's the truth most Americans never say out loud. Spending spreads through social circles faster than any advertisement, and if you don't build discipline on purpose, you slowly drift into a lifestyle that controls you. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how disciplined people in the US hold their ground when everyone around them is upgrading, ordering, traveling, and celebrating every paycheck. You'll see the system behind it, and you'll see how to apply it without extreme behavior. First, understand what's happening. In the United States, consumer spending makes up the majority of economic activity. Retail promotions are timed around pay cycles. Online stores study behavior patterns. Suburban neighborhoods often mirror each other in visible lifestyle changes. When one family renovates, others start thinking about upgrades. When coworkers upgrade phones, conversations shift. This environment quietly programs reactions. Discipline fails when decisions are made in the moment. Disciplined Americans remove the moment. Let me explain. Instead of deciding at checkout, they decide at the beginning of the month. Instead of reacting to invitations, they define limits before invitations come. That shift alone changes outcomes. There's a small group of households that track spending categories weekly, not obsessively, just weekly. Data from US budgeting surveys shows people who review weekly stay more aligned with goals than those who check randomly. Why weekly? Because behavior drifts in 7 days. If you wait a month, patterns are already built. Now, here's the deeper layer. Most people think discipline is about saying no. In reality, it's about pre-commitment. Pre-commitment means your money already has assignments before the world tries to claim it. Disciplined households often automate transfers towards specific targets right after income hits. What remains is what they operate from. This reduces emotional negotiation. When everyone else is spending, they are not debating. Their structure already decided. Let me show you a realistic American example. Imagine a young professional in Dallas earning a stable salary. Friends upgrade apartments and cars. Weekend brunch becomes routine. Instead of reacting each time, this person set a fixed, lifestyle spending number at the start of the year. Every raise increases savings targets first. Lifestyle grows slowly, intentionally. Over 5 years, that gap becomes powerful. Here's something uncomfortable. Social comparison drives more spending than need. Neighborhood data in many US suburbs shows spending rises after visible upgrades by nearby households. Visibility triggers imitation. Disciplined people reduce visibility triggers. They unsubscribe from marketing emails. They mute promotional texts. They limit exposure to lifestyle influencers. This is environmental control. If temptation enters your space hourly, discipline becomes exhausting. If temptation is filtered, discipline becomes manageable. Now let's address peer pressure directly. You don't need dramatic speeches. Simple lines work. I'm focusing on some priorities this year. That's outside my plan right now. No long explanations, confident tone, short sentences. People respect clarity. Another insight many ignore. Spending momentum builds from small leaks. Subscription creep. Daily convenience purchases. Frequent delivery. These look harmless alone. Together, they create pressure. Disciplined Americans audit subscriptions every 6 months. They check bank statements line by line once per quarter. Patterns reveal themselves quickly. When everyone else is spending freely, they know exactly what leaves their account. Clarity reduces anxiety. Now let's talk about emotional triggers. Celebrations, promotions, stress, boredom. Retail data in the US shows spikes during emotional highs and lows. That means discipline requires emotional awareness. Before major purchases, disciplined people pause 48 hours for anything above a personal threshold. That cooling period filters impulse. Impulse fades. Purpose stays. There's also a powerful psychological tool called identity alignment. Instead of saying, I'm trying to save, disciplined people think, I am someone who manages money intentionally. Identity shapes behavior. When identity is clear, decisions align naturally. Another practical structure used by stable households is percentage-based planning. Instead of random amounts, they assign percentages of income toward housing, lifestyle, long-term building, and flexibility. Percentages adjust with income changes. Structure remains stable. This prevents lifestyle inflation from running wild. Now here's something most people misunderstand. Discipline does not mean isolation. You can still travel, eat out, upgrade. The key is pacing. When everyone else upgrades annually, disciplined people extend timelines. Phones last longer. Cars stay longer. Furniture upgrades are spaced out intentionally. Time spacing protects cash flow. Let's look at workplace influence. In corporate environments across cities like Atlanta, Chicago, and Phoenix, visible lifestyle often increases after promotions. New watches, new apartments, social dinners. Disciplined professionals delay visible changes. They stabilize first. They build reserves quietly. Outward signals come later, if at all. This creates financial breathing room. Breathing room reduces stress. Stress reduction improves decision quality, and decision quality compounds. There's one more layer. You need a scoreboard. Without measurable targets, discipline feels abstract. Disciplined households track net worth growth annually. They track savings rate quarterly. They measure progress toward specific goals. Progress creates motivation. When you see numbers improving, outside noise weakens. Let me leave you with this thought before part 2. Spending around you will never slow down. Marketing will evolve. Social circles will shift. Platforms will keep promoting upgrades. Discipline is a private system built on clarity, structure, and identity. If you don't build it intentionally, culture builds something else for you. And most people never realize when that shift happens. Staying disciplined in a high-spending culture requires designing a personal operating system. Most Americans operate on reaction mode. Income arrives, bills get paid. The rest flows outward based on emotion, invitations, trends, and convenience. Disciplined individuals reverse that order. They operate on allocation mode. Allocation mode means every dollar has direction before exposure to influence. This approach is visible in financially stable households across the U.S. that maintain long-term growth even while living in high-cost areas like Seattle or Boston. They follow structured priority layers. Layer 1 is stability. 3 to 6 months of essential expenses held in safe, liquid accounts. This layer absorbs job shifts, medical surprises, or economic slowdowns. When stability exists, outside spending pressure loses urgency. Layer 2 is growth. Consistent contributions toward ownership assets such as diversified stock funds inside retirement accounts offered by employers. Many American companies provide matching contributions. Disciplined employees always capture full matches because that is structured compensation. Layer 3 is lifestyle. Everything visible to the world fits here. Housing upgrades, dining, travel, gadgets, experiences. Notice the order. Stability first, growth second, lifestyle third. When this order is reversed, discipline collapses. Here's something rarely discussed openly. High-income earners often struggle more with discipline than middle-income households. Why? Because margin creates illusion. A tech professional in San Jose earning strong income may feel every upgrade is affordable, yet high fixed expenses reduce flexibility. Without structure, high earnings disappear into elevated lifestyle. Disciplined high earners cap lifestyle percentages early in their career. Raises increase savings rate first. Lifestyle rises slowly over time. Over 10 years, that difference becomes dramatic. Now let's examine social spending. Group trips, destination weddings, frequent dining. Instead of automatic participation, disciplined individuals apply a decision filter. Does this align with my yearly plan? If yes, proceed confidently. If no, decline calmly. Clarity eliminates guilt. There's also strategic substitution. If friends choose premium experiences, disciplined people suggest balanced alternatives occasionally. Home gatherings, local travel instead of international, potluck dinners instead of upscale restaurants. Leadership shifts group norms quietly. Now let's address digital influence. Social platforms amplify spending culture. Short videos showcase luxury lifestyles. Algorithms prioritize visibility of upgrades. Disciplined Americans curate feeds intentionally. They follow educational accounts, career development channels, or business content instead of constant consumption showcases. Environment shapes behavior more than willpower. Next, let's discuss long-term thinking. Short-term excitement fades quickly. Long-term ownership grows quietly. Ownership of productive assets builds confidence. Watching retirement accounts grow through diversified index funds over years creates emotional stability. Market fluctuations happen, yet disciplined investors stay consistent because their plan spans decades. Consistency beats reaction. Another overlooked strategy is friction control. Easy spending increases frequency. Disciplined households remove stored payment methods from shopping sites. They disable one-click purchases. They use manual entry to create pause. Small friction reduces impulse dramatically. Let's talk about raises and bonuses. When additional income arrives, Many Americans expand lifestyle immediately. Larger apartments, new vehicles, higher recurring expenses. Disciplined professionals pre-assign a majority of raises toward growth before money hits their checking account. This locks in higher savings rate automatically. Lifestyle expansion becomes gradual. Now consider geographic pressure. Living in high-cost states like California or New York increases comparison intensity. Visible wealth appears everywhere. Disciplined residents define personal benchmarks independent of local averages. Instead of matching neighborhood standards, they anchor to percentage goals and long-term net worth milestones. Internal benchmarks protect peace of mind. Here's another powerful tool. Annual reset meetings. Once per year, disciplined households review total income, total spending, savings rate, asset growth, and goal alignment. Adjustments happen intentionally. Without review, drift happens silently. Let's examine family influence. Children observe spending behavior closely. Households that explain trade-offs openly raise financially aware kids. Instead of hiding decisions, they communicate, "We're choosing this because it supports our bigger plan." Transparency builds generational discipline. Now consider emergencies. Unexpected events often trigger reactive spending decisions. Without reserves, individuals rely on unstable solutions. With reserves, decisions remain calm. Calm decisions protect long-term goals. Let's talk about housing. In many U.S. markets, housing upgrades create the largest lifestyle jumps. Disciplined buyers choose homes aligned with stable percentage ranges of income rather than maximum approval limits. This protects cash flow and flexibility. Approval capacity does not equal comfort capacity. Vehicle upgrades follow similar logic. Reliable transportation serves purpose. Rapid upgrade cycles drain resources. Time extension is a quiet wealth builder. Next is community selection. Social circles influence norms deeply. Spending-heavy environments normalize constant upgrades. Balanced circles normalize moderation. Disciplined individuals intentionally maintain relationships aligned with long-term thinking. This reduces friction. There's also career investment. Instead of spending outward for status, disciplined professionals invest inward through skill development, certifications, and strategic networking. Increased earning power over time provides options without reckless lifestyle expansion. Now let's address mindset. Discipline grows stronger when tied to meaningful goals. Early retirement flexibility, business ownership, geographic freedom, educational funding for children. Clear targets reduce temptation. If goals remain vague, spending feels harmless. Let's examine measurement again. Savings rate percentage is one of the strongest indicators of discipline. Many financially stable U.S. households maintain double-digit savings rates consistently over years. Tracking this quarterly builds accountability. Net worth tracking annually shows compounding impact. Progress strengthens identity. There's also the power of delay rewards. Instead of instant upgrades, disciplined individuals schedule milestone-based rewards. When savings targets hit specific levels, they celebrate intentionally within boundaries. Celebration becomes structured, not impulsive. Now let's look at risk awareness. Economic cycles shift, industries change, job markets fluctuate. Those who lived at maximum lifestyle capacity feel pressure first during downturns. Those who maintained discipline feel flexibility. Flexibility equals resilience. Here's something subtle yet powerful. Contentment practice. Gratitude reduces comparison. Recognizing sufficiency lowers upgrade urgency. Research in behavioral psychology shows satisfaction decreases impulsive spending tendencies. Contentment strengthens discipline quietly. Now imagine two colleagues starting careers in Denver at the same salary. One upgrades housing quickly, finances frequent travel, and replaces devices yearly. The other sets structured percentages, captures full employer retirement match, builds reserves, and increases lifestyle gradually. 10 years later, outcomes differ significantly. Net worth, flexibility, stress levels, and options separate widely. The difference was discipline during ordinary months, not dramatic sacrifice, consistent structure. Let's revisit your environment again. Email promotions, flash sales, limited time offers. Scarcity messaging triggers urgency. Disciplined individuals recognize this tactic. They respond with waiting periods and plan alignment checks. Urgency fades with time. Plans remain steady. Now think about identity one more time. When you consistently act according to your structure, confidence builds. Confidence reduces peer pressure impact. Financial clarity reduces emotional spending. This creates upward stability. And here is the final reflection. Everyone around you may continue spending loudly. Upgrades will keep appearing. Invitations will keep coming. marketing will keep evolving. Your discipline remains private, quiet, structured, intentional. And over years, that quiet discipline shapes a life with options, flexibility, and stability. Most people only notice results later. By then, the difference feels dramatic. The real work happened in ordinary moments when you chose structure over reaction.